So we're sitting here on February the 24th, waiting on a mulch delivery. It's 10 yards. It's the same mulch yard that messed up our rock order last week. And I really hope I got a different delivery driver, because the dude was real pissy when he came back. Hopefully it's a different guy today. He just to not have to deal with, the potential attitude, or I don't know. But it's 9:30 right now. They open at 8. I ordered this mulch 2 weeks ago, so like I say, hopefully they don't wait until the end of the day to get it out to me. I mean, it would be nice to be able to get things done, but I'm gonna wait until about 10 and call them, because last year they actually did kind of do the like, oh yeah, we'll get it out, yeah, like kind of forgot basically. So I try to be as little of a nuisance as possible with these things, but at a certain point it's like I gotta get stuff done, and I can't be waiting on you guys. Like I say, and last year they just totally forgot about me, even though I'd already prepaid and all that. So I'll give them until 10 to let me know something, and then I'll call them and just be like, hey, what's the plan today? Because I don't want to sit here if they're not going to be out this way until 12 like they were with the rocks. I don't want to sit here for 2 hours waiting on them. So we'll call them here at 10 and just see what the plan is. All right, look at this. It's so cold. Then it's frozen. It looks like a little fungus or something. That's just ice. Grapevine that they trimmed up, and it oozed out its juices and froze. It's crazy. The ground is like frozen solid. Finally called. I was taking my phone out and it rang. And the guy called and said he was on his way, so they'll be here in like 30 minutes. Still waiting on mulch. I called about an hour ago, and the mulch yard's only 12 minutes away from here. So I don't know, maybe they dropped a load, had to go all the way back to the mulch yard, and they just called me before they went back. I don't know. It's just a horrible way to spend the morning. This is those times when I'm like, I just need to invest and get a dump trailer for myself, because it's so inconvenient. All right, let's wait a little bit longer. All right, 10 yards of mulch. Still got the steam coming off of it. Now let's lay this stuff out. So whenever you're dealing with something that's grown up and you need to get the mulch in, if you do a light dusting and then run your pitchfork over top, you can actually get a pretty nice layer of mulch. I'll show you how that looks. There's what it looks like. Now here's how you go down. There's your after, and then you'll take the blower and get all the little dust off, but you know, you end up with a nice layer of mulch in between your plants.
All right, welcome back to another Lawnside Chats, number 45. We're close to 50. After 10 long years, we're close to 50. All right, so here we are doing some mulch, and yeah, just like everything, I do things differently, right? You see me just throwing with the pitchfork, going relatively light compared to a lot of people. This is how I do 90% of mulch jobs. One issue I always have on this property, though, is we always end up with like a yard extra of mulch. But it's one of those things where, you know, the day you don't order 10 yards, you order 9, you're going to be short by like 4. Like, I just had that happen kind of on another job, which may be coming up in a few videos. But we're going a hair different on this one, and we're actually dumping some mulch and spreading it with the rake. Like I say, I don't normally do this just because it is a little bit too much mulch in most cases. But here, there's a few things going on. The issue with it always being over, I'm just trying to get rid of it, because I know visually you just kind of learn, like, yeah, we're going to be a little bit over if I do it like I normally do it. But also, this landscape has a lot of washout at times, so I'm trying to kind of slope it away from the house a little bit more using the mulch. Now, that's not necessarily the right way to fix a drainage issue, you know, is sloping it like with your mulch, but it's just an option to have, right? One of the big issues with your drainage and your water sitting on the back wall like that is, even with these little brick homes, you get like a little water leak into that brick and mortar, and it's damaging the plywood, and then it's like, well, now what? We're gonna tear out the brick and mortar? I don't think so. That's crazy. But here we go, spreading the mulch. This is the real time, not the sped up, and you can see compared to most people, I think I lay my mulch pretty thin, but you really genuinely do not need a ton of mulch. You know, you actually want the stuff to break down over the course of the year, so that, you know, you're getting the benefits of the mulch, and it's not just, there's diminishing returns, basically, right? And part of that diminishing returns is going to be stuff like fungus, you know, and I've seen it talked about a lot. There's so many different kinds of fungus that will pop up. There's little cluster spores. There's the yellow, like vomit looking fungus that comes out. You know, if you're getting a lot of that in your mulch beds, it's 100% because you're putting too much and the stuff can't really dry out. You really only need like 2 inches of mulch every year. So you're going to honestly save yourself and your customer a ton of money doing it that way, and you're not going to have those ugly funguses that too much mulch brings. So if you're seeing a bunch of fungus, just lighten up a little bit, you know, chill. All right, and so this you're seeing now is closer to how I normally do the entire mulch bed. And when you do it like this, you're getting really good coverage, you're getting the weed suppression benefit, and then you're getting no fungus, no issues, right? And I guess this little fling here, this is my favorite thing to do. Out of everything we do, I just love that little fling for the light layer of mulch. Don't know what it is. It's super satisfying though. But another issue with getting fungus is some of those fungus from the moisture issues can leach onto the tree, kind of. Not the fungus itself, but your fungal risk to your plants and trees, especially like the maple on the bottom, on the end of this here that you'll see in a minute. If you have a ton of moisture from your mulch, you're going to get fungus in your plants too. Each plant has different risks for different types of fungus and yada yada, all that kind of stuff. So again, too much mulch is a problem. That's why we always say don't do the volcano around your trees. You're going to kill it. And there's a lot of really good arborists. There's one guy on Facebook, I need to remember his name, but he actually shows like direct examples of how the roots kind of have a lot of issues when you do too much mulch, and he shows you the moisture actually eating away almost at the bark at the bottom of the tree. Just really, really in-depth stuff, and I need to remember his stuff so I can give him credit. But yeah, there's do your research, man. You'll learn you really don't need much mulch at all to get the visual and get all the benefits that mulch has to offer. So another great aspect of mulch is, by far and away, in the most literal sense, it is the absolute powerhouse of any lawn and landscape business, right? If you can swing it and you can do it every single day, you just need to just lay mulch. You're going to make a ton of money. It is such just an incredibly profitable service, especially if you do a good job. A wheelbarrow, a rake, a pitchfork, you're good. And you can just lay mulch, do 2 or 3 of these jobs a week, and you are so solid. You don't even have to do 2 or 3 jobs like this a month, and you can be good. These jobs are, I think, $1,200 for this. And the cost of materials, if you buy in bulk, it's really not insane. But check this out. Here's how we do our mulch. Of course, laying it out, and then we pat it as we go, and we work from the back. So we'll do that back layer first. We'll pat it down, smooth it out, and then we'll do another closer to the lawn layer, pat it out, smooth it out, and that way we're not walking on the mulch and leaving footprints in the fresh mulch. So you get a really nice, clean, crisp end result. So this is the part that I feel like, because no one watches the full video, because everyone has short TikTok attention spans, I feel like no one ever sees the cleanup on my mulch jobs, because there's a lot of stuff here on the concrete, on the ground, and part of the magic of these mulch jobs is the leaf blower. Like, you see how I'm blowing off all the bricks and all the little stone walkways and stuff. Like, it's kind of like pine straw. It's like a magic, like, ending, step that just super cleans up and crisps up everything. And you can see here, the edges look nice. Everything's blown off. Of course, it's raining as we end the day. But look, nice, clean, crisp edges all the way around. Mulch is smooth. One of the weird things about the rock on this is I normally like to have a nice straight line on my house fronts, but the rock and the brick actually make it a lot harder to do. I mean, you can kind of see it on this brick, but I normally like them to be just a little bit straighter all the way across because it gives it just a weird, like a super clean, just sharp look. But it's hard to do on that rock fascia. There's some plants already poking through the mulch. This was back in February. That's it for this one. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you got something out of it, and you should definitely be doing mulch jobs if you're not. Like I say, it's if you can swing it, don't even mow lawns. Just do mulch. Just be the mulch guy. You know, you can specialize. Do 1 or 2 of these a week, and you are solid. Great income, right? But thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys have a good one.